Italian market, and we could talk about food all day because there's
Yeah.
so much food in Philadelphia. That's probably one of the best parts about it.
Yeah.
So last question, and then we're gonna move on from food. Where do you get a good cheesesteak? Hey guys, this is Mary Murphy, and if this is your first time visiting this channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in New Jersey, then click the like button, hit subscribe, and click the little bell so you can be notified every time we release a new video. So I am here with one of my favorite people and one of the top agents in Philadelphia. And I really wanted to do this video because Sharyn and I really share clients very often because some clients are not sure where they want to live, if they want to live right in the city or in the outskirts, or if they want to go over the bridge and live in New Jersey and then travel into the city. So we have a lot of clients just like that. So I thought it would be fun to have Sharyn on the channel to kind of talk about what are the benefits of living in the city, her favorite parts of the city, favorite restaurants, places to go, and then how that compares to living here in New Jersey. So welcome, Sharyn. Thanks so much for doing this with me.
Thank you so much for having me. I always love to see you, Mary. You know that.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm excited. So as I said, a lot of our clients are always kind of shuffling around, right? From the city to Jersey, back to the city, back to Jersey, or they're looking on both sides of the bridge, right? So I really kind of wanted to have you on here, and you know, we always talk about how it's very important to have an expert, especially working in the city of Philadelphia, because it is so different and changes from street to street. Would you agree?
That's right. Well, we're actually doing a deal right now together with one of my clients that's moving from here, selling here and buying over the other side of the bridge with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's and it's important to know like the different neighborhoods and right, it changes, it can change pretty significantly.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Right. So let's start there then. What are
Okay.
some of your favorite areas in the city? And tell me a little reasons why.
So definitely Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse is one of my favorite areas to live. It's very high end, upscale. The walkability is amazing. I'm not sure. I know you've been to Rittenhouse many times, but it's a nice little square with lots of residential around, a number of high end restaurants. So again, the walkability is fantastic. You don't have to own a car at all. There's shops, high end shops that you can go to, restaurants, spas, everything you need really is there.
Got it. So you like it there. And what are the houses like there?
I love it. Very high end, very expensive. So you're looking in the million up range for sure.
And then are they attached homes? Or are they like what are the houses like?
So in Rittenhouse, you have a lot of condos and you also have a lot of attached townhomes. Some with parking, some without. Just depends on how far, you know, which street you're looking to purchase on.
Got it. So then if you don't have parking, where do you park?
Well, a lot of my clients don't even have cars in the city, to be honest with you. There's parking garages everywhere, of course, and you can rent spots from other homeowners if your property didn't come with a parking spot. But again, a lot of them don't have cars. They Uber everywhere or they just walk everywhere because it's so easy.
Got it. So for Jersey girls like me, it's hard to go to the city then and go to one of those great restaurants you're talking about because we're going to have to figure out where we're going to put our car.
Yeah. Well, it's not that difficult. There's parking lots everywhere. It's just the problem is you're going to figure out what to put on your feet because you may have a far walk.
Yes. Well, one thing we always talk about when we go out to eat is I'm like, where am I going to park?
Yeah.
You know, I remember the one time we went out, I'm not sure where we went in the city, but I parallel parked. I was so proud of myself. I took a picture of my car, went into the restaurant and forgot to pay the meter and came out and had a ticket. So that was a Jersey girl in Philly.
That was Soraya. I remember that night.
So what part of the city were we in then?
Fishtown.
We were in Fishtown then.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you mentioned Rittenhouse being your one of your favorite areas and the restaurants there. What's a favorite restaurant right in Rittenhouse that you like?
Well, it depends on what day I'm going. If I'm going Sunday for brunch, then it's Park. If I'm going Saturday night, then it's definitely a Barclay Prime night. Barclay Prime is a great steakhouse, very high end, right in the square. And Park is a nice French bistro style restaurant. They have fantastic cocktails and a great brunch.
Awesome. So then would you say then it would be convenient to live there if you work in Center City? You would want to live in.
Yeah, if you're a higher end buyer, it's absolutely a great place to live. Another great place to live is Fishtown. and Old Kensington. Very developed area now, lots of new construction, and they also have fantastic walkability scores where you can come out of your home, and a few steps in, you're at a wonderful restaurant like Soraya.
Awesome. Okay,
I
so
think
then
we,
that would Fishtown then be a little easier. Let's say you have a family and you wanna go to the park,
mhm.
or you wanna, get somewhere with your do something with your family. Would it be then more convenient maybe to live in a Fishtown area versus Rittenhouse?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rittenhouse does have Rittenhouse Park, so there's a lot of people that have picnics in the park, take their dogs for walks. You're near a lot of other dog parks as well. Fishtown, you'll probably have a better chance of maybe getting a little bit of a backyard. Old City is another great area to live with great walkability scores. But if you're looking for more of a really suburban feel, then you may want to consider places like Manayunk or Chestnut Hill. Also, fantastic walkability scores. Usually, the homes do have parking there and very family friendly.
So that's more of like a neighborhood feel. You'll have some
Yeah,
grass and a driveway at least maybe.
yeah, exactly.
Got it. And that's the difference we see with people considering Jersey versus the city, right? Because we can get
Mhm.
there within 30 minutes from everywhere
Right.
that I service.
Hmm.
And then here, of course, you're going to have garages, you're going to have driveways, you'll have neighborhoods with sidewalks and parks and lakes, and it's you're not going to probably Uber. You could Uber into the city. We do sometimes, but you're
Hmm.
probably not going to Uber. You're definitely going to have a car,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
So it's definitely different living. So what
Right.
about like Target or grocery shopping? Like, how do you do that if you live in the city and you have no car?
There's lots of grocery stores. There's Whole Foods in the city. There's Target in the city. There's great seed to table kind of places, organic little shops. That would never be an issue. I mean, if you live far, you Uber there and you get your groceries and you Uber home. But there's lots of stuff now in Philadelphia for ease of shopping.
Awesome. So, okay, so you said your favorite was Rittenhouse. What would be like your second favorite if you were going to live in the city? It's another area like.
It would probably be either Old City or Fishtown. Again, both have fantastic restaurants that we love to go to. Walkability is easy. I don't want, if I'm in the city, I don't want to drive. Um, 9 times out of 10, when I'm in the city, I just Uber everywhere. If I'm going to meet a client, I'll Uber to see the client, and then I'll Uber to see my friends after for a happy hour or for dinner, and then I Uber back home.
Awesome. So then what kind of clients like are your clients typically looking in Rittenhouse and Fishtown, or is this a different interest for a client? Would you say?
Completely different. I find that a lot of my more established clients are looking to live in Rittenhouse. Um, could be empty nesters, it could be a single person. And in Fishtown, I'm finding a lot of the younger generation is going there. Um, so anywhere from the mid 20s to mid 30s um, are looking in new construction in Fishtown and Old City. Um, Also in South Philadelphia, there's a lot of new construction happening in South Philadelphia, and again, lots of restaurants, ease of walkability, and so it's attractive to a lot of the younger generation. Single member family, and sorry, scratch that, a single person, young families, maybe a newly married couple. Once they start having children, though, you find that a lot of them will sell and move into the suburbs, whether it's Jersey or whether it's Montgomery County or Bucks County um, for
Got
for the backyard, for the bigger backyard space and the 2 kids and the dog.
got it. So you're seeing more of your single or like young professionals, and
Right,
not as much the families are wanting to live in those areas as much.
right.
Where
Yeah,
later
most
back
of
in
them.
life, they come back. They come back and they're empty nesters and they're back in the city.
Exactly. Yeah, the empty nesters are typically going to Rittenhouse.
Got it. I get it. That I could see why.
That's where I'd
Um,
be for sure.
right. Okay. So let's say for your clients that either want to live in Philadelphia or have to, because there's certain jobs like we talked about, government jobs, you're going to have to live in the city and stay there and not move to the suburbs or move to New Jersey.
Mhm,
If you're looking for a little more affordability,
mhm.
where would you where would you move if you were looking for a little more affordability, but still needed to be in the city?
Well, Manayunk is a great area to live in, still very affordable. You have a lot of homes that are under 300,000. Fishtown and Old Kensington, you can still purchase a home in the 300s. It's just not going to be a renovated home, or nor will it be a new construction home. Probably won't have parking either. But with Fishtown and Old Kensington and in Manayunk, There's a lot of street parking. Rittenhouse, not so much. In the higher end areas, you don't find that there's a lot of street parking available. But in Manayunk, I have a listing that I just put up a couple of days ago. We have parking for 3 cars, which is highly unusual for the city. And Fish on Old Kensington, there's I already mentioned that there's a lot of street parking. But in that price range, you're probably still able to buy really anywhere in the outskirts of Center City. So not in Center City proper.
Got it. Okay, so, and how about if I wanted to be high end besides Rittenhouse, but I really want something ritzy, but I don't wanna live in a condo. I'm not worried as much about walkability, I more
Mhm,
would like to park and have a little more space and
mhm.
still be in, either in the outskirts or have close proximity to Center City. Is there somewhere where I could get, like, a larger townhome or
Mhm.
probably not a single family, right? Is there anywhere I can get a single family?
That's a little tougher when you're in the city. Single family you can find in Germantown. You can find it still in Manayunk. Germantown is a hot area too, very up and coming. Lots of people like to live there because the prices are still fairly affordable right now. Chestnut Hill, a little more expensive, but beautiful single family homes, very historic looking homes. And Chestnut Hill is a wonderful place to live because they have a great walkability score as well. Lots of great shops along Germantown Avenue.
It's beautiful there too, isn't it?
Oh,
There's
yes,
a,
very, very nice. Yeah.
Germantown College or, scratch that. What's the college there?
Chestnut Hill.
Oh, yeah, the Chestnut Hill College. I remember my sister-in-law, or my brother and sister-in-law, they, got wedding photos there. They got married right in that area, and I remember how beautiful the area is.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
it's got a lot of charm to it. It's that old school charm, old world charm.
okay, so you love Chestnut Hill. You're saying it's a little more, if you're not wanna be right in the city. So
Mhm.
what's the average sales price? And what can I get? We're gonna go, like, the least expensive just to get in there versus,
Mhm.
like, how high can we go, right? So
Yeah.
talk
The
about
least
that.
expensive yeah, the least expensive, you're probably looking somewhere in the mid to high 300s, for a very small property, and it can go into the several million for a larger property. It's Chestnut Hill is really known for having a true suburb feel with Philly taxes.
Got it. And Philly taxes, would you say they're higher or lower than the suburbs?
Oh, they're significantly lower than the suburbs.
Got it. So it's a little more affordable than if you were gonna go to some of the higher end suburbs.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
there's
absolutely. Philadelphia just had a reassessment this year, this beginning of this year, which definitely increased everyone's taxes. There was a big uproar about it, but it's still nowhere near what the suburb taxes are.
right, and of course, in Jersey, you're also looking at high taxes higher than
Right. Higher than
than Pennsylvania. So
right. Yeah.
sometimes people choose to stay in PA and pay less taxes. Of course, the property values are a lot of times higher.
Hmm.
Whereas here, our taxes are higher and sometimes our properties are slightly lower. I mean, we're pretty comparable state to state,
Hmm.
but our taxes are definitely higher here. It's one of the negative things that we hear.
Right. I
Um,
hear that all the time from
Jersey taxes, right?
right.
But you can go to our public schools. So people will choose a lot of times to go to some of our neighborhoods where you can do some of the public schools. We like I said, we have the parks and it's this true suburban feel versus what we're talking about now, which is if you really want the city feel, walkability.
Mhm,
I'm not going to talk about walkability too much in my area. We're driving
mhm.
most places,
Right.
but we
Right.
can get to all the big box stores. We can get to malls, shopping, parks, any of that stuff within a few minute drive. So
Yeah.
let's
I'm
talk a
talking
little bit about traffic and commuting. So how long is it going to take me to so you say walkability, you talk Uber, because a lot of people are living in the city and trying to minimize their driving.
mhm.
But how long is it going to take me to kind of get around if I'm living in, most of your clients and they work at some point they have to go to Center City, right?
Right.
Would you
Right.
say that's true?
Yeah, I
So
would agree with that.
then what's the traffic like? How are they getting to and from the city? Are they doing public transportation or
Sure. I mean, if they live along the Fishtown, Old Kensington, Port Richmond corridor, then they can take the transit right into the city. But I mean, really, anywhere you are on the outskirts of Center City is not going to take more than 15 minutes. Anywhere from Port Richmond into the city or West Philly into the city, either way, you're really not more than 15 minutes. I mean, from the suburbs, you're 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes to the city. So within the city, the commute is very, very easy.
Okay. Would you say to avoid certain times a day or?
Obviously, yeah, for sure. You're going to avoid anywhere from 7 to 9:30 a.m. and, your 3 to 5 p.m. rush hour, 3 to 6 p.m. rush hour. But unfortunately, those are the hours everybody travels. So that's when it's going to be the busiest. But,
I know with us, a lot of times when we meet, you're like, I'm going to get there too. Right? Like a lot of times you'll be wherever we're going to go a
exactly.
little earlier. So you're not even traveling within the city
Oh
at
yeah,
that
it could cut your Uber price in half if you leave earlier than your rush hour times.
So we talked a little bit about your favorite restaurants and places to visit in Rittenhouse, but
Mhm,
overall in the city, what are some of your favorite things to do?
mhm.
Let's start with your favorite restaurants and then talk about some other things like maybe there's parades or um, sporting events, stuff like that. I want to talk about really what it's like to live in the city. But start first with some of your favorite restaurants. Where are they in the city and what do you love about it?
Okay, I would probably say hands down my favorite restaurant in the city is Soraya. It's a Middle Eastern restaurant on Frankfurt Avenue in Fishtown. I'm Middle Eastern, they're Middle Eastern, therefore it's my favorite restaurant, but it really is amazing. They have a prefix on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays for brunch also. It's fabulous, makes me feel like I'm back home again. The food is delicious and it's reasonably priced.
Mhm.
Second favorite, definitely Saloon in South Philly, and that's on 7th, I believe. Um, there almost every Saturday night. We just love it. It's got a great swanky feel to it. Fantastic bar downstairs, have dinner upstairs, and then finish the night at the bar upstairs as well. Um, really nice, fantastic professional wait staff. The manager there is awesome. The bartenders are fabulous. So we enjoy spending Saturday nights there.
Great. So we talked about a lot of your favorite fine dining spots. And what if you just wanted like a cool outdoor spot or grab a nice burger? Like where would you go for something like that?
If I wanted a burger, I would definitely go to Old City. There's a number of restaurants in old cities, like pubs that you can hop back and forth from. We did that in the summertime, and there's a lot of fantastic outdoor seating. So I kind of like that bar crawl in the summertime when we're having a casual night. For casual Italian food, I love Villa di Roma in South Philly. One of my favorite restaurants to go to for sure. Fantastic food, mid-range pricing. I also love Chinatown for authentic Asian food, dim sum. Um, I love sushi. Lots of great places in Chinatown to go
And
to
then there's the
for.
Italian market. And we could talk about food all day because there's
Yeah,
so much food in Philadelphia. That's probably one of the best parts about it.
yeah.
So last question, and then we're gonna move on from food. Where do you get
Okay.
a good cheesesteak?
Oh, oh my God, John's roast pork. I don't eat pork, but John's roast pork has the best cheesesteak hands down in Philadelphia.
Wow, and that's one that I haven't heard. I think my
Really?
favorite is Steve's Steaks, but I
I haven't
haven't
been
tried
there.
John's.
D'Alessandro's is amazing too. But
Oh, that one's
John's roast pork is just this little hut. It's tiny. You go there. There's a huge lineup or not, depending on the time that we go. And their cheesesteaks are amazing. That's where I take my family when they come in from Toronto.
I've got to try that one. And it's funny, if you talk to any Philadelphian and you ask them where their favorite cheesesteak place is, they're going to tell you something different. That's the amount of cheesesteak places that we have in Philadelphia and how many
Right,
different opinions there is on that. So it's really
right.
so John's roast pork, got to try
Hmm.
that one for sure.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's move on past that. What are some things you can't miss if you live in Philadelphia or close by? Maybe like festivals or
Hmm.
parades or anything like that.
So of course everybody knows the Mummers Parade on New Year's Day. That's one of a really fun day if you can make it past New Year's Eve to get out there. The South Philly Festival is awesome. There's over 100 vendors, I'm sure. Lots of arts and crafts, artisan things, fantastic food. Again, that's where you'll see Villa de Roma on display. There's also the Old City Festival, the Old City Art Festivals. Fantastic place to go find new jewelry. Again, you're walking the streets, so all the restaurants have all their samples of their foods out, drinks, beers, shots, everything, anything you can ask for, you're going to find it in those festivals. Those are definitely my three favorite places to go to.
But there's almost always some sort of festival going on, some
Oh
sort of
yeah.
outdoor art show or something going on somewhere, even if you're going towards the Franklin Institute or
Right.
Old City, right? So
Another thing that I do with my friends and my family, it's funny because I have a number of friends that come as a group every year to Philadelphia, and they want to do the same thing every year. They want to do that hop on, hop off bus, and we do it. And we hop on wherever it takes us to the museum. It takes us to Rittenhouse again, so we hop off there. Lots of great things to do in Philadelphia if you just want to come and check it out. And quite frankly, some of my clients from New Jersey and New York will call me and say, we really don't know the area as well. And I'll offer to just take them around. They can follow me in their car and we can stop at all the nice little sort of suburban areas of Philadelphia and familiarize them with the shops and restaurants there and see which one appeals to them more. Fishtown is very artsy, so a lot of my clients that have galleries love to live there. And yeah, I'm happy to do that for any of my clients in Philly.
that's awesome because we didn't even really talk, and we can talk forever about Philadelphia, but about the architecture and
Yeah.
of course, it's all of the museums and
Mhm.
the Franklin Institute, the Art Museum, all of those amazing monuments. You can go see the Liberty Bell
Mhm.
or
Oh,
we
there's so much to do. And so much history in Philadelphia. You could spend days. And that's another thing that the hop on, hop off bus is great for because it stops at all the top historic locations in Philadelphia.
Last thing I want to talk about is shopping, right? So I'm sure of course, shopping's best in the city, right? Where would you go if you wanted to just do a girls' day and go out shopping? Where'd you go?
Rittenhouse.
We're back in.
Lots of great shops with walkability. And again, it's nice to stop. We could start off by having brunch at Park, walk down the street. There's great jewelry stores. There's great shoe stores. There's great clothing stores. Um, there's DeBruno Brothers for cheese and meats, and they also have a great session where you can get a bunch of girls together and go for a wine and cheese tasting there. So that's also something really nice to do. It's easy to spend the day in Rittenhouse Square.
Yeah, that's awesome. So shopping is great there. And we have Jewelers Row. We didn't even talk. So the cool thing
Oh
about
yes,
Philadelphia is there's all these different sections
yes,
where if you were looking to get jewelry, you would go to Jewelers Row, right? And there's just a
right,
line of jewelry stores.
right. I have a couple of clients that own jewelry stores down there as well.
Right. So if you're looking to if you're considering Philadelphia versus New Jersey or versus suburbs, they couldn't be more different.
Yeah,
Easy to get back and forth. I always joke that my Philly friends are allergic to Jersey. They can
bridge.
only take their cars to Jersey if it's going straight to the beach, and they can't stop where I am, which is right in the middle, right before the beach towns.
Mhm.
But I do love to go into Philly often. So, Sharyn, thank you so much for sharing all your insight.
You're
And
welcome.
she is one of the top realtors in Philadelphia. It's the one that I trust most with my clients who are moving there.
Thank you,
And so
Mary.
if you have questions about Philadelphia, you're definitely going to want to talk to Sharyn. And I'm your girl on the Jersey side. I picked Jersey. So this is my favorite is Jersey. I like to visit Philly and I don't want walkability. I want to drive my car and park in a parking lot at the nice restaurants here.
Right.
So it's definitely a different feel. But thank you so much, Sharyn, for sharing your expertise and your time with us.
You're welcome. And let's meet at Cafe Aldo Lamberti very soon.
Absolutely. That's in Cherry Hill.
That's
Definitely
in
one of my
Cherry Hill.
favorite spots. They'll even valet park your car.
Yes.
And then you can walk into the restaurant and it's super easy to drive there, park there,
Yeah,
which is
my
important
favorite
to me.
restaurant over the bridge.
It's my favorite too. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mary. Talk soon.
We have several calls a day from people just like you looking to move into New Jersey and that would like to work with our real estate team. We would love to be the team that you choose. So please just find our contact information in the description below and reach out anytime.